I'm going to show two different ways to solve this system of equations algebraically. The first method is called substitution, and that is what it sounds like. You can take what one variable is equal to in one equation. For example, y is equal to 300 plus 50x, and you can substitute that in for the variable in the other equation. So I'm going to replace this y that I highlighted yellow with the expression that I highlighted yellow, 300 plus 50x. That creates a new equation when I do that replacement or substitution. 300 plus 50x equals 260 plus 55x. And now I want to solve for x, find the value of x that makes the two sides of that equation equal. First, I'd like to have my x's on the same side of the equation, so I can subtract 50x from both sides. And I get 300 equals 260 plus 5x. Now I'd like that 5x to be the only thing on the right side of the equation, so I can subtract 260 from both sides. That gives me 40 equals 5x. So this equation says 40 equals 5 times what? Well, I know that answer's 8, but if I didn't, I could divide both sides by 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 5x divided by 5 is 1x, or just simply x. What that tells me about this situation is that if I buy a system and 8 games for each of these, my total cost for both sets should be the same. So let's check. For Xbox, I have to buy one system, $300, to play the games. And then if I buy 8 games, and each game costs $50, that's 50 times 8. That's 300 plus 50 times 8 is 400. That would be $700. For Nintendo, if I buy the system, that's $260 plus $55 per game. If I buy 8 games, I have $260 plus $440, which is also $700. So check. Okay, that works. The other method of solving these equations that I want to show is called elimination. And that's when you try to eliminate one variable. Typically, when you're using this method, you'll see your two equations stacked vertically. So I've got y equals 300 plus 50x, and I have y equals 260 plus 55x. And one tip if you're going to use this method, make sure that your variables are lined up with each other. For example, I've got my y's here, my constant terms here, and my x terms here. So with elimination, you want to either add or subtract these two equations together so that one of the variables disappears or eliminates. I can see by looking, if I subtract these two equations, my y's are going to disappear, and that's what I want. So if I subtract y minus y, that's 0. 0 y's, which is 0, equals, I'm going to bring down my equal sign, 300 minus 260 is 40. And 50x minus 55x is negative 5x. So now I just have to solve this equation for x. So I have 0 equals 40 minus 5x. I could move the 40 or move the 5x to the other side, but I need to move one of them. I'm going to choose to move the 5x by adding 5x to both sides. So on the left side, 0 plus 5x is 5x. and that's equal to 40 minus 5x plus 5x is 0, so I've just got 5x equals 40. Now, just like the last method, I know that 8 is what belongs in place of x, because 5 times 8 gives me 40. But if I didn't, I could divide both sides by 5 and get x equals 40 divided by 5 is 8. So you can see you'll get the same thing either way. Sometimes it just depends on how your equations are set up, which method would be easier to use.